Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel US Immigration. We hope you are doing great. In this video, we will talk about devastating blow for Trump with major implications for Democrats.
Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel US Immigration. We hope you're doing great. In this video, we will talk about devastating blow for Trump with major implications for Democrats. A recent development has dealt a significant blow to Donald Trump, creating ripple effects that could shape the political landscape for both Republicans and Democrats in the upcoming election. As Trump grapples with this latest setback, Democrats find themselves in a position to capitalize on the situation, potentially altering the course of their campaigns. This unfolding scenario could redefine key strategies on both sides of the political spectrum as the race for the White House intensifies. Critical election developments and controversies. We have some critical updates to share today, covering essential topics that could significantly influence the upcoming election. The stakes are high as both Republicans and Democrats gear up for the November 5th election, and new revelations continue to emerge that could reshape the political landscape. From allegations of election data manipulation to fiery exchanges between political figures, these events are capturing the nation's attention. In this report, we will delve into several key topics: possible election fraud in Arizona, a dramatic interview showdown between NBC's Meet the Press host Kristen Welker and Speaker of the House Mike Johnson, and a surprising satire Donald Trump directed at Kamala Harris. With Election Day fast approaching, every detail matters, and both sides are strategizing in real time to sway public opinion. Allegations of election data manipulation in Arizona, a threat to election integrity? One of the most explosive revelations involves claims of data manipulation during the 2020 elections in Arizona. According to a recent audit, there were 255,000 early votes in the Senate race that were not properly registered. This has raised serious concerns about whether these votes were accounted for accurately. Even more alarming, the audit uncovered that 23,000 mail-in ballots were sent by individuals who no longer lived in the state at the time of the election. As if that weren't enough, 23,000 votes were allegedly duplicated, and over 9,000 mail-in ballots were recorded above the official tally. To top it off, 50,000 ballots were reported to be falsified, sparking fresh debates over election security. If these claims are proven to be accurate, they could reignite debates about the integrity of the 2020 election and fuel concerns for the upcoming November 5th elections. While this information is being met with skepticism in some circles, others are calling for increased oversight to ensure these issues are not repeated. The audit findings have led many to question whether similar incidents could have occurred in other states, prompting political commentators to urge voters to cast their ballots in person in future elections to avoid potential mishandling. NBC's Meet the Press showdown: Mike Johnson defends Donald Trump. Next, we turn our attention to an intense exchange between NBC's Meet the Press host Kristen Welker and Speaker of the House Mike Johnson. Johnson, a staunch ally of Donald Trump, appeared on the program in what many thought would be a standard interview. However, it quickly turned into a fiery confrontation when Welker attempted to question Johnson about Donald Trump's reluctance to release his medical records, particularly his cholesterol levels, which have been a point of contention for Democrats. They argue that Trump's health is of public interest given his bid for a second presidential term. However, Johnson quickly turned the tables on Welker, dismissing the issue as irrelevant to the concerns of average voters. In a pointed response, he asked, "Do you think the American people care about Donald Trump's cholesterol level?" Johnson went on to argue that voters are far more concerned about pressing issues like inflation, rising food prices, and the overall economic hardships caused by the Biden-Harris administration. In a matter of moments, Johnson shifted the narrative, criticizing the Democratic focus on health records as a distraction from more substantial problems. This exchange gained significant media attention, especially among Trump supporters, who saw Johnson's response as a victory. By framing the Democrats' line of questioning as out of touch with the concerns of everyday Americans, Johnson managed to deflect the issue while casting Trump in a favorable light. His diplomatic yet firm response to Welker was seen as a masterclass in political messaging, leaving the presenter on the defensive. Kamala Harris under fire: weak polling and desperate interviews. While Mike Johnson defended Donald Trump, he also took the opportunity to attack Vice President Kamala Harris, calling her performance in office underwhelming. According to Johnson, Harris has failed to command respect and has consistently underperformed in interviews. He cited her frequent gaffes and inability to effectively communicate, claiming that every time Harris appears in the media, her polling numbers drop even further. Internal Democratic polling shows Harris trailing far behind Trump as the election approaches, leading to growing desperation within her camp. As Election Day draws nearer, Harris has reportedly been urged to do more interviews to counteract the damage, including a recent appearance on Fox News, which is known for its conservative leanings. This move signals the growing pressure on Harris to improve her public image, but the question remains whether her efforts will be enough to shift the momentum in her favor. Harris's performance is crucial for the Democrats, especially given the Republican strategy of portraying her as unfit to lead. With Trump's popularity surging, as shown by the latest Polymarket polling, where he holds a 59.5% chance of winning the presidency compared to Harris's 40.3%, the pressure on her to turn things around is immense. Trump's satirical jab at Harris a musical mockery. Adding a surprising and somewhat humorous twist to the political drama, Donald Trump reportedly wrote a satirical song targeting Kamala Harris. While the song may seem like a lighthearted jab, it reflects the deepening rivalry between Trump and Harris as both parties prepare for Election Day. For Trump, this type of humor has long been part of his political strategy, using satire to disarm opponents while keeping his base entertained and engaged. Though the song may be a relatively minor development, it serves to underscore the broader efforts by Trump and his allies to paint Harris in an unflattering light, further contributing to the narrative that she is not fit for office. The song, combined with the relentless critiques of her performance, underscores the high stakes for both Harris and the Democratic Party as they scramble to regain control of the narrative in the final weeks leading up to the election. In conclusion, Democrats under pressure as Trump gains momentum. As the November 5th election draws closer, these developments underscore the mounting pressure on both sides. For Donald Trump and his allies, the recent polls and public exchanges suggest that momentum is on their side. Meanwhile, Kamala Harris and the Democrats are facing a steep uphill battle, with internal polls showing them falling behind. Whether it's the allegations of election fraud, the media confrontations, or the growing public scrutiny of Harris's leadership, these issues could prove decisive in shaping the outcome of the election. The Democrats are now in a race against time, doing everything they can to rally support and counter the narratives being pushed by Trump and his camp. With less than 3 weeks to go, the coming days will be critical in determining whether Harris and her party can turn the tide or if Trump's lead will continue to widen, potentially sealing his return to the White House. While this news may present a serious challenge for Donald Trump, it could also offer Democrats an unexpected advantage as the election season heats up. How they respond and strategize in the coming months will be critical in determining whether they can fully leverage this opportunity. The next steps for both parties are bound to shape the direction of the 2024 election and beyond. That is all for today in this video. What are your thoughts on this? Please let us know in the comments section below. Thanks for watching the entire video. Hopefully the information is useful to you. See you later in the next video. Till then, take care.
The political landscape ahead of the November 5th election is heating up, with key developments creating uncertainty and straining intense debate. A new audit from Arizona has raised concern over potential election data manipulation during the 2020 elections, particularly in the Senate race. According to the audit, 255,000 early vote were unregistered, 23,000 mail-in ballots came from individuals no longer living in Arizona, and another 23,000 votes were allegedly duplicated. Additionally, 50,000 ballots were reported as falsified, and these findings have resignated discussions about election integrity, with some fearing similar issues could have occurred in other states. As a result, there are renewed call for voters to cast their ballots in person to ensure the accuracy of future elections. Meanwhile, an intense interview on NBC Meet the Press between host Kristen, Welker, and Speaker of the House Mike Johnson garnered widespread attention. Welker tried to press Johnson, a key ally of Donald Trump, about why Trump had refused to release his medical record, particularly his cholesterol levels. Johnson, however, swiftly turned the conversation to more pressing issues like inflation and the economic struggle many Americans face under the Biden-Harris administration. He dismissed the health record issues as irrelevant, arguing that the voters care more about living costs than Trump. Cholesterol. Johnson's daft handling of the situation was seen as a win for a Trump camp and a deflation from media attempts to put Trump on the defensive. Kamala Harris, the vice president and a key figure in the upcoming election, is also facing significant scrutiny. Johnson criticized Harris' performance, claiming she has repeatedly failed to demonstrate leadership and consistently underperformed in interviews. He suggested that her poor communication skills have contributed to her declining polling number. Internal Democratic polls confirm this, showing Harris trailing Trump significantly, which had led to growing desperation in her camp. Harris has been urged to do more interviews in an attempt to reverse the negative perceptions, but whether these efforts will be successful remains to be seen. Adding to the drama, Donald Trump took a tactical jab at Harris by writing a song mocking her, further amplifying his criticism. Though his move might seem trivial, it is a part of Trump's strategy to undermine Harris' credibility and boost his standing with voters. With just weeks remaining until Election Day, These developments point to growing momentum for Trump while placing increasing pressures on Harris and the Democrats to regain their footing. Time is running out for the Democrats to turn things around as a Trump lead in the polls continues.